What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju Comment from the Toku and Animation News Network, here with
Cruellica Kain by the skin of my teeth.
And today we are going to be talking about Boonboomger episodes 19 to 25, which finishes off the second arc, apparently.
Question is, I didn't even know there. Oh, Jesus Christ! Didn't even know there was a first one.
Yeah, apparently the first arc was all the way through Mad Rex. And then, so the first 9 episodes, and then this arc was 10 to 25.
Great way to include a person in. But that's okay. I am trying to see over the microphone. I think people can see me, but I can't see them.
Oh, thankfully I fixed that.
Ha ha ha. But no, I honestly think Boonboomger has been a little interesting and a little disappointing all at the same time. But it is a bit hard because we're comparing it to a very story-driven series such as Boonboomger.
Well, I mean...
And so I have to kind of take myself out of that mindset.
That still wouldn't matter, though, because we still do have... no, it's in my way. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to move this.
Well, you're moving it closer to me. But...
Okay, hopefully they can hear it. But the problem, compared to the other series, doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's still a very filler-esque show, regardless. And part of the issue we noticed is that episodes 19 to 25 are not even written by the actual head writer. He has been absent this entire time.
Well, and I think that's one of the challenges is you can definitely sense that, which I find to be a little sad and disappointing at the same time, because not saying he's the best writer ever, that I can't even say some of the writers I really like are the best writers ever, but it's just, you can tell. I think it's very similar to that one series that we had talked about. God, now I can't remember the series. I know it's Toku, where we could really get a glimpse of when it was the main writer versus another writer. I think it may have been X8.
No. Was it Ghost?
Yes, it was Ghost. Because every time when we were watching Ghost, you could actually tell tonally.
Well, the main writer was a rush job. Then one of the secondary writers did a lot more better pacing. Another writer had kind of a mess.
Well, but because how I think of specifically Ghost, and I don't want to get too far down the Ghost rabbit hole, is there were a lot of great ideas. I still think did a better job than Junko, in my particular opinion, but I don't want to pick on her either because Junko at least tries too. But these episodes have just felt so different. But that's not to say entirely that episodes 19 to 25 are all bad.
No, there were good episodes.
I do want to at least preface that.
There was no plot movement in these episodes.
So let's do this. Knowing that there's not a lot of plot, and I know people are putting questions in the chat. I want to say hello to everyone who's saying hello. Hopefully you've all been having a good week. I'm trying to be calm because I noticed I come across a little aggro to you sometimes, so I want to be nicer. So I'm trying to calm myself down because I'm so excited. I have to make sure I'm not aggro. I was noticing that, and I was like, wow, I could be really mean. And it's unintentional.
Okay.
I don't want people to not like us.
Where's the pod person? Like, Where's the real Cruellica?
Wow, thanks, Evan. Thanks.
But okay, so our first episode was the ATM one, right?
Amanogawa and the Path of Heaven. So it debuted the Wing Boonboomger robo, but this is the one where it's summer holidays and Boom Boom is stuck in a professional relationship. Oh wait, give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Is it the one with? Was that the one with the ATM?
That's what I'm trying to double check.
Because I'm pretty sure that was the ATM monster. Yes, it had to be. Yes. Okay, so we have this ATM monster that attacks people with money, and it weighs people down based on how much money they have in their bank account, which is hilarious, especially when they go and attack Joe or all the Rangers. What's his name? Shashiro says, "Everyone, quick, get behind Joe." And Joe's like, "Okay," and he gets hit with the money, and he's like, falls. And wait, I don't feel anything. And the monster's like, "How did that happen?" "Oh, because he had just spent just got paid, so he spent all his money to buy new gym equipment." Well, how do you know that?
Okay, now I remember. So I think what I really liked about it is, one, the monster, two, you actually do get some camaraderie between all of the characters again. And that's the one thing I continuously appreciate, even in filler episodes, is that they're not wasted episodes. They still at least give you something for that value. But I do enjoy the element of having Joe get proven that he does not know how to budget his money well, which we actually know people like that in real life. Sometimes I'm like that. And then we have Chashiro proving that he gets all this information without trying. It makes me wonder if he bugs everybody's home just to get this.
But yeah, and then so they have Taya go because of how rich he is. They're like, well, if he hits him with money, he's going to kill him. But then when they're trying to defeat him in the Met form, they're like, Taya's like, wait a minute. So we've got, because Buundi got flattened with the money because he apparently has a nest egg that he hasn't told anyone about.
Oh, and Sakita was so mad. Like, wait, you're hoarding money. This is like our relationship, to be quite fair, because he has all this money for us saved up. And I'm the one who will just like go crazy sometimes. And
well, it's not like it's that much.
But it's still something.
But yeah, and then so then they give Boomer the wings so he can fly, and that's when Taya's like, wait a minute, I just got an idea. So Taya goes back into Boomer, and they have the monster hit Boomer with the money. Mm-hmm. So when they come crashing down, they slash through the ATM auto monster like Voltron going, like Go Lion going. That was a fun episode. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. To let you know how fun it was, he's mentioned it since we watched it, outside of this, about 4 times. No, and I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying that's how much.
Well, really, and that I think is my favorite. That's my favorite auto monster of the series so far. So after that, we have the episode with Pink's boyfriend, who came off as a really big creeper until the very tail end, when he realized, oh crap, I'm the one doing this.
So what I love about this is her ex-fiance misses her so much.
No, it's her boyfriend.
She was going to get.
Yes, he was the one that hired Taya to take her away from the wedding.
Yes.
From the Yakuza guys.
You're right. But anyways, her ex-boyfriend he apparently does not know how to exist without her, because he just feels like she is a necessity for his relationship. And he actually goes to the hideout of the villains, where they're hiding out that day.
No, it was in the restaurant because they were attacking the restaurant.
Oh,
and then
I thought they were hiding out there because they were all cleaning up.
They were in the restaurant.
Why were they cleaning then?
Because they were taking it over. And they turned the bowl into a monster, and he was still there. So,
because I thought it was their hideout for the day because they were cleaning. Clean.
Over here and clean.
No shit. But okay, so they were cleaning a place they just attacked to take over. He finds them, asks them essentially for help. They create a monster that's a cleaning machine, so to speak, that he controls. So, like a video game.
Well, and then before that, though, we have Mira is all like, I'm done with work for the day. I'm not doing anything anymore. Gets a call from her boss. Her boss took out his back. So she needs to cover for him. So she's like, okay, I've got the shift covered. And then
you looked at me when she did that.
And then the monster captures her, puts her in his bowl, and she's just sitting there like, oh, this is relaxing. I'm just going to stay like this.
Until she comes to the conclusion that, wait, I'm captured. I need to get out. So I thought it was the perfect episode to talk about toxic relationships. And I really liked how they also had a ton of fun with it as well. They truly had fun because everybody was working their asses off to save her too. And it wasn't until I think it was, who did the come to Jesus talk? Let me see.
Well, we had Black was trying to take the thing apart.
Yes.
And Blue tells him, I think it was Blue, was like, no. You have to do both at the same time because it seals itself with the hot air so it doesn't go bad. And Taya was...
Genba is the one who tries to get Mira back while Taya's working on his plan. So I think it's Taya who eventually destroys the device after kind of chastising.
Well, and Taya and Sakato went to the dude to talk to him about Mira.
Yes. And Taya's the one who chastises him. And it's absolutely very interesting when you come together with it. Now, before we go to the next episode, I do want to reference some of the comments in the chat.
You want to reference them or read them?
Read them. It's been a long day. Okay, so Kuru says, good morning for me, good evening for you. Guten Morgen. I don't know where you are, so I'm just going to say German. Anthony, it does German, right? Anthony Sarkis says hello.
Hello.
25 episodes so far, and Boonboomger still hasn't done much for me. And admittedly, I keep on calling it Boom Boom, not Boon Boom.
Yeah, Boonboomger.
And then Star Wars fan says hello to both of us. King Casual the Great says rest in peace. Cannonball, gone but also forgotten. Love it because it's true. Hopefully the next villain is a little more interesting. Yarakar snapping at him was pretty satisfying. Arcana Master says the baseball episode was as bad as the Kiru Ranger baseball episode, which was as bad as the Ninja episode, which was just as poor as the Die Ranger baseball episode. Wow, you are going for like literally the history of terrible baseball episodes.
Actually, before the other thing I want to say on episode 19, when we have more of Yurakar making fun of Cannonborg, I think that's the one. Is that the one where Yurakar was wearing the disguise of Cannonborg and like speaking like him?
Yeah, and I have thoughts on that, but I'll wait. The whole Kuru says the whole baseball The whole episode is basically a baseball match. Yes, it was incredibly boring.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
Star Wars fan says baseball is boring. It depends. If you're...
I'd rather be at a baseball game than a football or soccer game.
Both are called football. Episode 19 was ATM Monster. Well, the episode with baseball wasn't entertaining enough. We are the broke brothers, Sakito. Oh, yeah, because Sakito and Joe are always broke. That's why Hyundi has the nest egg without telling anyone. Well, they do say money is the root of all evil. Maybe that's why it was trying to kill them. I know the philosophy is you can't take it with you. I just want to make sure I can live comfortably and play video games and watch stuff. Baseball is fun, but if I wanted to just watch baseball, I would just watch baseball. Thank you, Arcana Master. They didn't even do any interesting rules with the baseball game. Okay. Because I think that's episode 21, right? Or 22?
The baseball one was 23.
Well, just to skip ahead real quick, I do want to say, and we can ignore the baseball episode after that when we talk about it, or get to that point. But oh my God, you are correct, Arcana Master. If I'm going to watch baseball, I'd rather watch it live. I can't watch sports on TV. Thanksgivings have programmed me to truly hate watching sports on TV or Christmas. But I would think in Toku, if you're going to do a sports episode, that is not going to be one-for-one accurate sports rules. You're playing against the villain. It should not be where the villain is actually playing it legit.
The only rule was you can run around as many times until they get you with the ball.
Yeah, but that's outside of...
Because even though, like, I do disagree on the Die Ranger one, because that one, they had bombs strapped to their...
Die Ranger.
They had bombs strapped to their hats, so if they lost, they would have gone boom. And then they would have been Boonboomger.
Okay, I do agree with this next comment because it is very true. Why do people say ATM machine? The M stands for machine via Miles Morales. It is true.
I've just, that's all I've always heard it said. I think that's it. Because everyone has always said ATM machine.
It's basically not exact literal, but it's like calling a cell phone a...
Same reason why people call photocopies Xerox. I'm going to go Xerox this page.
Or I'm going to Google this comment. Even if you're using Bing, Yahoo,
or tissue, they say Kleenex. I'm going to go get Kleenex.
Well, I think when it becomes part of a cultural narrative, it's typically...
It's like saying Sahara Desert. You're saying desert.
Well, yes. So, next comment from King Casual the Great. I still want those Yakuza guys to show up again.
I think they're dead.
And then we have a person who sounds like a villain, the Scorpio.
Oh, hello.
Hi, everyone. I have a question. Is the Super Sentai DVD for the movies? So I think you mean for any of the Super Sentai series that come out. Definitely clarify in the chat just in case, but I generally think that the Super Sentai DVDs don't include the movies.
No, because Toei counts the movies as a separate license. So that's why the Gavin movie was not included with Discotheque's Gavin release. Why Scheider's movies are not included with movies? Was it one or two? One. Are not included with Scheider. And the G-Bomb movie is not included. The only case that's been rare has been Ryuki with Shell Factory's release, probably because people constantly were asking them in advance, are we going to see episode final? Like, the only reason I figure Real Time came with 01 is because it's the actual ending of the show.
Well, I was going to say that's the only way you can fully complete the series. And real time, in a way, not real time, but episode final is truthfully to me a necessary part of Ryuki.
Well, it's an alternate ending.
Yes.
But it's weird how Toei does it. And the black movies weren't included with Discotek's Blu-ray release because Toei puts them all under separate licenses.
Sad tragedy. All right, moving on before I...
All right, episode 21, The Candy Detective.
Okay. I do like what it's called here, Flaming Delivery.
I know, but not My Name Is Better.
Oh, that's not the official name. I was like, it's called Flaming Delivery.
Yeah, but that's what where Genba is the candy detective. I am the candy detective. No, you're not. You're Genba. No, I am the candy detective.
Well, I think what I loved about this episode is you really got to see Genba be the nerdy adult he wants to be. I say it like that because Genba is approximately 10 plus years older than everybody else on the team. He's kind of like, oh God, now I can't remember his name. Dabowski in Kingoger, where he is the elder statesman.
Or Kyogre Blue.
Yes, they're the older member of the team that they tend to be either very eccentric or extremely serious. More often than not, thankfully, eccentric, which I prefer. But it's funny when you can see those eccentricities dialed up to a 10. Since most people think that adults have to be serious. So I love that because he finds Joe frustrated when he's trying to do his own investigation of an arsonist. So they're all around going together, and when they're investigating and speaking with a witness or anyone like that, Joe is looking
Joe
flustered.
is writing everything down.
And Genba's like, I see.
Ah, yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of that comment that we got, not in Toku, but Overlord, when he's listening to all the things Ein is listening to all the things that he purportedly told his minions, and he's like, when?
I'm Toku did not tell you all, but he secretly told me his goal is to take over the world. I did?
And it kind
when
of...
When was this? That one time. Ah, yes, that one time.
And it's kind of a similar spoof between Joe and Genba, because Joe is legitimately trying to figure it out, and Genba's just flighting and flitting around, but he actually is solving the entire thing, which is insanity. And so I really like it because it's ridiculous. However, when you actually find out that it's the monster of the week,
the fire extinguisher, who had a cool design.
And they only find it out because a fire extinguisher was delivered by Mira in one of her many jobs to this house of an older woman. They're leaving as she's coming in to deliver. I swear it was Mira who did it. But nonetheless, they see the fire extinguisher and save her.
No, they went to this lady's house.
Yeah.
And she made a comment that was like, I'm going to cook. And that's when it went off.
Oh,
so they realized that. So then they had them all going to the houses.
Oh, that's why Mira's involved. Okay.
Yes. Going to the houses to ask, has anyone dropped off a fire extinguisher today?
Now, to be fair, the reason my recollection is not as perfect as his is because when I marathon, I have a hard time remembering everything. Where you have like a pandemic memory where you can pull shit up. Now, if you ask me about employment law, I can pretty much tell you most of what's legal and not
and then
legal.
we have, well, and then also our other plot in this episode is Boomer is cleaning, finds a drawing of Taya as a kid with a drawing of him wanting to be a firefighter, and he creates him the Zoom Fire Blaster. Zoom Fire Blaster.
And it's called, and he turns into Boon Red 119.
911. Or
119 is the emergency line in Japan versus our 911.
I don't think that's it, but
yes, it is.
119. Yes, 119. And that so we had a really cool fight sequence in there where it goes into first person mode for a moment when he's shooting the gun off to extinguish these flames flying at him. That was really cool. And him and the monster also had this cool battle where they were just, he was shooting flames. Well, that's 110.
And 119 for ambulance.
Oh, for ambulance. Okay. Well, I was thinking, and they're firing at each other, which was a really cool scene.
Well, it was really, essentially, it came down to who cast the bigger fire. But the Candy Detective, my favorite part, at the end of the episode, breaks the fourth wall by telling everybody who's watching that he deduced that with help of friends, dreams can come true. But that's really the first time I think in Sentai, not including a Kiba Ranger, but Sentai breaks the fourth wall that I remember.
No, they've done it before in the past.
Really?
Yeah, they've done it a lot of times. But our next episode, which is
Lions,
very intense. We have Tent Auto Monster
because of a camping trip,
who traps people in tents. Then we have in this episode we've got everyone talking about Taya's new upgrade form. We have Joe wanting to do Boon Black 110 and Chishiro wanting to do Boon Blue 007. And we have the James Bond gun barrel sequence with a take on the theme music.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
It was awesome.
It was so awesome, but so bad. And then we get a call from Lightning Tech's
Naito
Raito. So
Naito Raito. Or
Naito Raita.
Yeah,
Naito Knight Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Which once again.
And being now that he knows that Taya is Boon Red, he's like, hey, I need you to go and I need Boon Red to go and take a delivery for me.
To my nephew, I think it was.
I think it was nephew.
For
camping.
And so we then have hijinks, so to speak, with the tent monster turning people into tents.
Well, he was more like locking them in a tent.
Well, I meant having a tent around.
All I know is Jason Voorhees would have had a field day. Like, ooh, boom.
Oh, it was just something.
But we had another cool fight scene going on in that one, and that introduces our new Mac.
I don't remember what it's called.
Leon?
Oh, yeah, Leon.
He's the lion.
Boom Leon.
He's the lion that can turn into the fire engine and then also becomes armor for Boonboomger Robo. So it's Boonboomger Robo 119.
Too bad there's no witch and wardrobe in it.
Anyway, now you threw me off.
I love when I do that.
And then we also had the Neji letters doing the only time being truly memorable because they got to grow. And
well, yeah, that was kind of weird though that they got to grow. I liked it though. So then the next episode is baseball, which we can skip since we already talked about it.
Yeah, just almost. Well, no. Here's the thing that I've noticed, because the dinosaur episode is still pretty bad. Is for me still the worst episode.
Oh yeah, that's where you're
This
laying your.
Is second. So I've noticed with these episodes, one, Joe is my least favorite of the Rangers.
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
But also, it shows that nobody knows how to write him. He is a legitimately good guy, Boy Scout. He's like Superman in a way.
He's like Silvercloak.
But Superman is, when you get a really good writer to write Superman, Superman is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can write a Boy Scout character right now to give Joe a really solid story.
Well, I think that's the problem, because usually in most Sentai series, you don't have that literal lawful good. And I'm just going to put it there in D&D terms, because lawful good is really that legitimately, it's like a paladin, a legitimately good person that you could never see anything doing wrong. Like, his biggest flaw, so to speak, is that he doesn't know how to budget. But he's good with kids. He's good at his job. And no, I do agree there. And honestly, one of the reasons why Superman is one of my least favorite comic book heroes is because very rarely have I been able to read him where I feel like he is a person that could exist in reality. And I will say and Joe is probably my least favorite character as well, only because, once again, I can't relate to that type of character and it's not like I have to relate to those types of characters or any characters in a show to enjoy it. But if it's so diametrically different than the other problem
is, I thought, okay, well, maybe it's because both those episodes were not written by Tomioka. Well, he didn't even write Joe's introductory, or the episode where Joe became Boom Black. So no one consistently has even been writing Joe.
Well, yes.
So the writing for him is just awful because they don't know how to handle him. And I will say, Chishiro is my second least favorite because they hinted on this like background in episode 2 that he was some sort of spy, and they have never touched on anything about him again since.
Except for like the James Bond comment.
Right. So I'm really hoping that we see them tackle Chishiro's background coming into the second half of the show.
Well, who's your favorite character? I know who mine
Genba.
is.
Genba's my favorite, followed by Mira.
I would say Mira's my favorite, then Genba and Taya tied because they both are eccentric in their own ways.
Genba, I just love how nonchalant he is.
Oh, well.
Especially, again, with the briefcase episode, which is still my favorite episode, when he's just like, yeah, I've got this briefcase. Oh, villains want it? Here, have it. Boom. Oh. And Mira and Tasha, no. But
well, going back to the comments real quick, we have a response from V Scorpio mentioning that Super Sentai movies getting released on DVD is extremely unlikely. I don't know if I would say extremely unlikely.
Well, I would think also if they were to get released, it'd be on Blu-ray because they've all been remastered and been put out on Blu-ray in Japan.
No, I think if they did like the Versus movies, I could see them maybe doing like a Versus Blu-ray set where multiple movies.
So the way
this.
Toei has released them in Japan is their box sets of like movies from 1975 to 1993 or 1995, 96 to like 2002, and it includes all the movies, Versus movies, and summer movies in those sets.
Because we really don't have too many full-length movies for Sentai. We have the occasional, but
well, the full-length movies didn't really start until
modern era,
Kaiju, because the summer movies were typically
30 minutes.
30 minutes. But now that we've got some series that will have like several movies,
or they now have specials that are airing on
TTFC, like the Kaku Ranger one.
Toku.
Toei Tokusatsu fan channel.
Okay. I knew fan channel, I knew Toei, I couldn't remember, or Tokusatsu, but all right. So then we have Naga definitely breaking the wall a bunch in Q Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Where did Naga break the wall in Q Ranger?
All the time. He would ask the audience a question or say something. Him and his partner, they would constantly look to the audience.
Oh, now I remember.
One of the Q Ranger movie, I think not Q Ranger, Kyoranger movies. They say at the end of the movie, "Thank you for showing up. Bye."
Now, so this is a great question by Star Wars fan, because this is where I think my thoughts going as well. Do characters doing the next episode preview count as fourth wall breaking?
I don't count that.
Okay, because I don't count that either.
No, I don't count that.
And neither does our comment.
I only count what's actually in the show itself. Nothing in the opening songs, closing songs, just strictly what's in the show itself.
Okay. Arcana Master says also another common thing between episode 15 and 23 is that both plots are just copies of other past Sentai series, which you had mentioned that as well when we were watching.
Oh, yeah.
And so another question that came up is how many times has a ranger befriended a monster only for that to turn out to be evil? Like 6? More?
Oh, way more than that. Go 5 did one. Ginga Man does one. Well, wait, for it to turn evil? Well, I guess
turn out to be evil.
Well, okay, Go 5, he was pretending to be good. Ginga Man, he was more or less just looking to have a final battle. But yeah, there's tons.
I think my favorite series of a monster pretending to be good but not fully being good is from Alba Ranger, the Crocodile Phone. Because he goes back and forth. Now, eventually he does turn good, but my favorite monster who does turn out to be good is actually Jealousy.
Jealousy. Oh.
And I can't remember who he was supposed to marry.
He married some lady.
Really? Wow.
No, I mean he married some lady.
No, I know that. I thought it was a Sentai lady.
No.
That's why I was asking.
No, it was just some normal lady.
But I thought it was so adorable. And then Gemba is so great. He has access to a warehouse, which we're going to get to the ridiculousness of Gemba, in my opinion, now. And that is the song I want to deliver. So we go back to Taiga's school / not orphanage, but basically
the school he grew up in.
Yes.
And he went to school for.
Which
and where
schools in Japan are, like, for little kids are so much nicer than what I had in elementary.
They also don't have like 30 kids in their classroom.
But it was super nice. I was like, where were these teachers when I was that little? I got rulers hitting me.
But we have another sequence of Yurikar insulting, because he complains, how do people, or how is it so hard to just capture gasoline? And Yurikar's like, maybe it's the leader in charge that's the issue.
Well, so there was a great realization that you had about Yurikar.
I am totally Yurikar.
Yes, you are. I'm so happy that we had this supported session where I can just help you learn.
I am totally
and
your
accept your faults.
because I will be snarky to anyone that pisses me off or I do not like.
You will cut a bitch. And you do it in such a way sometimes, you'll say it where you're like, was he just insulting me or actually being helpful? Like, I know it now after so many years because I'll usually walk away pouting.
Like Advent Nebula because he won't leave that job. Or with the comments I've made.
And he understands you as well. So he just lets it go.
But yes, I am totally Yurikar. He is my personality.
He is your spirit animal. But so we find out about Taya's first love, who was a teacher of the school. And it's in Japanese fashion. Everybody's like, oh, he had a first love. Like, he didn't tell them. The head teacher did, or the headmistress, or whatever they're called. And they're like, oh, he had a first love. And then when they do talk to Taya about it,
and they're like, oh, is she here?
And he's like, no, she's gone now. Perfect way of saying it. That is exact code word for she has passed away. Because usually I've noticed if somebody is dead, but they don't actually want to say the person is dead on a children's show, they always say they're gone. And it's like, it's done in a double entendre way where it could be they're gone to another school or they're gone.
Well, the interesting part here is because it could go either way, but because they actually don't mention like anything else or even show her, it's just, that's it. You're like, oh, she might actually be dead then.
Yes.
That might be what he meant by the gone.
Well, I also took it like that during the monster fight, so to speak, because Cannonborg is pissed off because higher-ups are like, why aren't you doing anything? And sadly, shit rolls downhill. If you haven't heard that yet in your professional life.
To be fair, he hasn't been doing anything.
So they create this gasoline that basically puts people into dream states. And so both Taya and Sakito
get under the influence of this acoustic guitar monster.
And, well, one, it's an acoustic guitar. Anybody who likes acoustics.
Anybody to sleep.
Yeah, I don't mind acoustic guitars in the actual full scope of the musical performance, but on their own, I can't stand acoustics because you can only do 4 chords to get a good sound. But moving on from my standards of music, you have Sakito sing a memory of his friend telling him not to go into space. Sakito, because he had that opportunity, which we did get to see on screen, where he is able to reunite with his friend, was able to pull out of the dream state easily. What really makes me believe that Taya's first love, the teacher, has passed away is because he, for the longest time, was still caught in the dream. And generally, that talks a lot about regret and loss and unfinished business. So that's kind of how I took that she passed away. But what made the funniest experience is the monster of the week is gone at that moment. And they're all trying to figure out a way to wake up Taya. Genba, in his infinite procurement wisdom, brings a cart, one of those tug carts, of everything noisemaker that I would really like to buy my sister to give to my nephews and niece, because it's a great way to wake anybody up in the morning. But it doesn't work until I can't remember who he heard until everybody
They had the kids.
voices, like the kids start singing the song. Because once a kid starts singing the song that his first love wrote, that he shares all the time, called Rainbow, he hears the voices and can kind of get pulled out of that dream.
Well, and we also learn that she is the reason he made all the Boom Boom suits be different colors. Because she says that it's more fun if you're in a whole rainbow of colors rather than all one color.
Well, she was an inspiration for a lot for him as a character. So even though this wasn't written by the primary writer, one thing I liked about it is it was a great additional character development opportunity for Taya to see, one, that he is not perfect at everything, and two, the reason why he's so bombastic now is because he had an influence when he was younger to help him come out of his shell.
Well, he had both her and Raita.
Because not everybody has that, or it's not done in a manner that allows people to come out of their shell.
Now, our last episode, which is also thankfully the end of Cannonborg, has some interesting stuff because we have this like Zeton-like Cannonborg satellite coming to Earth that I really just wanted to hear it say Zeton.
No, you have to have it Zeton. Yeah, the trill where it's gearing up.
Zeton. Well, because it does its own thing, which was
oh God, what was it called?
Something boy.
Yeah, let me look.
Where it sounded, because it sounded like it's in the Zeton tone at one point. But then we also get the mystery when the ISA, because we have what's her glasses girl, gets a call to tell them the location of the item, and then when they say, yeah, the ISA helped us, Cannonborg says, wait, why would the ISA be helping you?
It did. That was a really good Easter egg in the episode because it makes you wonder. Okay. So
is the ISA?
Hoi Hoi.
Hoi.
Because his name is Jackie Hoi Hoi.
Yes, that's what it was. Hoi Hoi. But yeah. So it makes you wonder if someone in the ISA is actually working for the Hash aliens.
But we also got kind of a scene that made us think that Mad Rex
might be back,
might still be alive.
They show this scene of him and Mad Rex talking, and he's like, "Well, that's what you get for trying to go head first into battle." And at first, it was like
Mad Rex. Cannonborg was telling Mad Rex.
Yeah, at first I was thinking like, "Oh, this is a flashback scene," but then you see all the damage on Mad Rex. It's like, wait a minute. Is that actually before Cannonborg came to Earth?
And it made me think, so maybe Taya wasn't strong enough
to kill him
at that time. And maybe because we were actually disappointed.
Because Mad Rex was useless because he was essentially like the first general.
Well, yeah, we actually thought.
And then Cannonborg was even more useless.
So it makes us think that maybe he wasn't as useless as we anticipated. Maybe there was a purpose to him walking away. So I really enjoyed the episode because it was different like that. Now, as a conclusion for the second arc or first half of the show, whichever you want to take it, I'm kind of a little unsure.
Well, that's because I don't feel like there's been a definitive line where King Ultra, you had a definitive changing point. Whereas in here, it's like, oh, that's a new arc coming up? Okay, I would have never known that. The other thing, though, I did like the main mech, or when all the mechs combined to form that cannon.
So, comments here. One, I love Arcana Masters. No jealousy.
Actually, hold it. I need to get some water.
Oh yeah, I didn't bring water over because my water bottle's empty. But overall, it was a good episode. Conclusion, I still feel like there's a lot of unanswered items. But at the same time, that really makes sense knowing that we still have another half of a series left. So I'm not disappointed that all of my questions are answered. But
they have a lot to play in the second half of the show.
mm-hmm.
They have a lot of cards that they need to start really doubling down on, playing their hand. Because we've got Chishiro's backstory. Genba, I'm sure, has a deep backstory.
Well, we should know some more about Joe as well.
Well, he's a good guy. That's all there is.
If that's really all of his character, that is disappointing.
But, and Sakato has had more development than Chishiro. And he's only been in, 8 episodes?
Now, to be fair, there's only one character that I hope we don't learn a ton about backstory-wise outside of all that we've gotten, and that's Genba. I would prefer Genba to be that enigmatic procurement guy that you want to know. Like, it doesn't mean that you don't want to know anything about him, but having that unknown for him with how eccentric he is, I think that's a perfect thing. Just keep on building up, but never make that leap to give you official answers.
The other thing I'm hoping is they go more into the ISA.
Well, they have to based on
Cannonborg's comments.
Yes.
And that phone call that Shirobe got.
Yes.
So there's those. The backstory for Chishiro. Better development for Joe. Probably actually having something to do with the Grand Prix. Surely they've got it that the series has got to lead to this Big Bang Grand Prix.
I would.
That they have brought up a million times.
I would hope so, but I take nothing for granted.
And hopefully we're going to actually see the leaders of the Hasha aliens, because just having their captains show up all the time is annoying.
Well,
I want to see the actual bigwigs of the Hasha aliens.
Well.
The other part, though, is I feel like Atasha, Yurikar, and Decatrade, they're going to end up becoming good at the end.
You think?
Yeah.
You honestly think something that seems like the most obvious thing in the world?
Yes.
Wow, honey. Wow.
So they're going to end up becoming good, but...
Duh. They're probably going to be part of the pit crew for Boomer and Boonboomger. I kind of figured they were going to be good from the onset, because if they're supposed to be the heralds of this big bad empire, they're terrible at it. But they're so adorable at doing the most ridiculous things.
Well, I did like during the episode with the bowl monster, when they start doing the puns when he grows, because she says he's going to deliver a fight or something, and he says, and the other guy says, what was it he said? I don't remember now, but they did all those puns with them.
So, comments here. Arcana Master, I like this. No, Jealousy, you died protecting me and I was racist towards you. And Jealousy's response of, I'm perfectly fine. So was Cannonborg an interesting general? Star Wars fan is asking.
No, I thought he was.
He thought he was generic.
Yeah, I thought he was very boring.
And speaking of Mad Rex, the next episode might be crappy because there's someone coming back. The toilet monster. And then let's see.
Wait. Next episode is probably going to be a clip show because it's the finale of Gotchard.
Oh, yeah, that could be why But then we said, let's see what the third arc will give us. And then next comment is, how many times I got to tell you, my name is not Chashiro, it's Ishiro. Well, the main villain might come in the last 10 episodes through Star Wars fans' prediction, since Sentai sometimes has a thing for doing that.
Sometimes they come in the last 2-3 episodes.
And then Mechanic Silo is asking me to elaborate a little on Kaiju's prediction for Shoto. One, who's Shoto?
Shoto? Which comment?
Mechanic Silo. The dreaded porcelain.
Elaborating on...
Oh, predilection, not prediction. The toilet bowl monster.
Oh!
His predilection. I can't read, apparently. I can't speak today.
Did you just close our commercial?
No. Never.
We need that ad revenue.
But anyways.
Because it's dropped to $82 now. I don't think it's counted the Zenkaiser money yet.
But his predilection against anything toilets, I'm actually not sure. He hates, I would say he hates toilet humor, but if you've seen his humor in any of his reviews, you know that's not the case. What is your predilection against a toilet bowl monster?
He's just a crappy monster.
I think it's mainly he just wants to give puns.
Plus, the dude was throwing water at spraying people with toilet water. Ah!
No. That is very true. His predilection, his concern and issue about it is honestly, he hates uncleanliness. Where some people say cleanliness is a step closer to godliness, that's not the case for him. Cleanliness is just like he can't handle body odor smells.
I don't like stuff on my fingers. It feels weird if I have stuff on my fingers.
Well, I'm just saying you don't like body odor smells. You don't like things that are not supposed to be on your fingers, but you eat with your fingers all the time, which makes no sense to me. But then again, I have an issue with the word moist.
Moist.
That's exactly it. It just sounds disgusting to me. And then, no, I was just joking about the toilet's name being porcelain. I was asking if I don't know. I wonder if they'll get back all the Tokers?
Tokugers.
Why aren't the...
Because the red Tokuger is on the poster for the third arc, for lap 3. So he's wondering if they get all the Tokugers back.
Oh.
As opposed to just where we only had Go on Red.
Well, Go on Red looks sadly ages older than he should be. I can't wait to see this man in person because I just want to make sure he looks about my age because he really shouldn't be. Because Tokuger came out in what? Not Tokuger. Go-Onger came out in what year?
2008.
So he's probably close to 40. Because if he was in his early 20s and I wasn't 30 yet, right? You're not going to dispute that? You're not going to try to age me up? It's hard being calm and not being something.
You wouldn't have been 30 at that time yet. Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't trying to lie about my age at that moment.
Well, you were actually at the age you would be that you constantly lie about at that time when it premiered.
Yes, I would have actually been 27.
Wow, you're old.
And there was no shipping and handling at that moment. So, all right. Last episode you mentioned, Shoto media at conventions. Shotos at conventions. The little figure doll shit that you get. Aren't they called Shotos?
Yeah, the Shotos.
Now, SHOTO?
SHODO.
Okay, I don't know how to spell them, so...
The Copy Rangers, Die Rangers, Judy.
You don't have to... No.
No.
You don't have to say all of them. Please, God, don't say all of them. His predilection for collecting them is he likes to have tangible toys. He is a giant kid that has never grown up.
Well, Shotos also are the full team. You get the full team in one set. Unlike Hasbro, where you bought one member and then had to wait 5 years to get another member, and then they say, oops, we've canceled the line.
So this is why he has a predilection to collecting them at theaters. Shoto is a genre. Okay, I am lost.
Yeah, you're confusing me now.
I am confused. You read this. I'm sorry, Mechanical Silo. I'm trying to be helpful, but I don't know anymore. I'm sorry. I mentioned something about Shoto. I don't know what Shoto is. And I don't know about...
Shoto is a genre.
Because I know shoujo and shonen. Okay. Give me a second. You keep talking while I Google something. Literally on Google.
Oh. It might have been misinterpreted what we were talking about. Because I don't even know what the context was anymore.
Shoto anime. Shoto Todoroki? Okay. The only thing I'm fighting for is Shoto is an anime called Shotokan, where you like prepubescent boys, which you are not anywhere near that. So we're going to move on hastily from there. But My Hero Academia is Shoto. So I apologize. I may have misinterpreted something or misspoke. Buying at the convention, buying merch.
It's Shotos. Because I'm hoping to find at Power Morphicon the Go-Go 5 Shoto set, which is 4-inch Sentai figures of, the teams, basically. There are videos of toy photography.
Maybe you're anti-Shotokan? I don't think we've ever talked about Shotokans.
No, I think...
Because you're not a fan...
No, I think we were talking about Shotos.
Okay, because I just want to make it clear, just in case, he is not a fan of Shotokan. I'm not actually a fan of Shotokan. The only thing I watch that has any element of Shotokan is the American dub to the Ghost Stories anime, where they give it a very bad dub and talk about and make jokes about Shotokan. That's the only thing. But he is not a fan of that and not of the girl flip side as well. But he does collect Shoto toys, which are about 5 inches tall. Okay, I am not the one who's trying to pimp out Shoto.
Technically, they're 3.94 inches.
I just want to kill him. But he collects a lot of toys because we go through annual things about rotating stock. So he'll go all out and collect this one franchise for years. Like, he collected Transformers well before I even knew you. And then one year he's like, I don't really want these Transformers for whatever unknown reason or above. And he sold them off for thousands of dollars cumulatively. And then took the money and bought all of these G.I. Joes and He-Man. And then decided, I don't want these old style G.I. Joes or the G.I. Joes that you had.
Those were all at the same time I was collecting them.
No, we didn't have the Transformers when we moved into the place in Meridian.
Right. But then I also got rid of most of the GI Joes because as we were taking them off the wall, the packages off the wall, I said, you know what?
And you only
if
kept
we
a select
keep
few.
these, that means I have to put them all back up. I'm selling them off.
And then he got all of these Matty Collector He-Man stuff. Got all of these and decided, I'm going to sell all of them. And then he started getting DC stuff. Got all of those. Sold those.
Because Mattel ended the line and they never updated the articulation.
So we rotate toy stock. So I'm waiting until he gets out of this Shoto phase. And we then sell all of that out and get new stock in a different franchise.
I've been trying not to go overboard because that was one of the other things is I was just buying everything. Like even Marvel Legends, I've stuck pretty much.
So yes, so Shoto, not Shoto. Thank you for asking that question and asking for clarification because I was a little worried that people in the world are thinking he's a Shotokan and he's really not.
Still don't even know what that is.
It's where you have this series where they eroticize kids. And he's a former teacher. Look at his face.
What the?
No, it's disgusting.
It's like as bad as the incest crap.
That's why I was saying, after I found it out, clarifying that you are not a Shotokan.
Ew. Anyway, we do have also what?
I love that. So if you ever want to know clearly where he stands, just take a screenshot of that face.
So also though, the Japanese voice actress who did Medusa in Maji Ranger and
you said Motoko
Kusanagi. She was Lisa in JoJo's. And the penguin girl in Geki Ranger, Tanaka.
Oh yeah.
Atsuko Tanaka. She died yesterday in Japan.
And how old was she?
61.
Oh, so young. But it's not just because a character I like has passed away, just a person in general. I was actually very sad to hear that Phil Donahue had passed away at 88.
Yeah, I meant to tell you that yesterday.
Because he was important for doing talk shows in the 80s that would highlight things that the hetero community never wanted to hear about.
I actually know him by name because his show came on after Thundercats. Or it might have been before Thundercats. So
everything he knows in life is based on a cartoon fucking schedule.
So Thundercats and Transformers were on, and then that show, it was either that show came on after or came on before, I forget. But I know that dude because he was on the same station as Thundercats and Transformers.
You know, honey, you are 40-something now.
Yeah, the meaning of life.
You should not still be able to catalog your life by your cartoon.
I was 2 years old. 3.
But the fact that you can remember, I don't know if it was due to the drugs or something else that I can't catalog. But Jesus. All right.
No, it had to be after because there was a soap show before Thundercats.
Oh, wait. Martin Mull passed away?
Who?
Martin Mull. He was the dad in Beetlejuice. Let me take a picture.
No, that was Jeffrey Jones that was the dad.
No, Martin Mull. Oh, wait. Yes, you're right. But Martin Mull, you should know him. He was in Clue. He was Colonel Mustard.
Yeah, okay, but you said Beetlejuice.
I thought he was in Beetlejuice too. But yeah, he passed away, which was really sad. And the only thing he knew of him was Vlad and Danny Phantom. Really? I didn't know that. And thank you, Mechanic Silo. It really is the drugs. Don't do drugs. I'm not saying that as part of the DARE program, which failed. I'm just saying
you're never too old to watch cartoons. You're also never too old for drugs.
No, you're really not. But don't. Don't do drugs.
If I did drugs, I'd have no money for figures and movies and video games. All right, but I think that's really all we've got since we have covered
everything, including a very small snippet of my drug history, which I will never put on this channel. But there you go.
But yeah, we have covered.
Schruppinger's actor.
Yeah, he died recently, which sucked. But yeah, we are halfway through Boonboomger. I feel though we're in a good place that we can wait several weeks before we watch more episodes again, and then it's better. It's much more enjoyable to just do like 5, 7, 10 episodes in one shot.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
So as always, click like, subscribe, the bell notification. Anything else, YouTube guys are clicking to support us. If you're coming to Power Morphicon and you see us, come say hi. We'd love to chat with you. We're doing a panel called Super Sentai and Spider-Man Friday night at 6 p.m. in panel room C.
Plus, we have press badges, so we might be able to interview any of the former Power Ranger or Toku actors that are at the convention. Obviously, I say might because I don't know what the press process is, but we'll try to also do some coverage while we're there too.
Well, I'll be recording cosplays. I'll actually get to record a whole bunch of people doing Toku cosplays instead of like an anime convention.
Is it really Toku if they're doing Power Ranger cosplay?
It's still Toku.
I know. But would they know that?
But there's people also that are going to be there dressing up as Kamen Riders.
I know.
All right. We never did get the autograph stuff together. Shit. All right. But if you're going to Power Morphicon, come say hi if you see us. And then
yes, we will be recording our panel. I might try it depending on how the Wi-Fi does. I might do some live streaming while we're out there too.
Depending on how the convention center's Wi-Fi is,
or with my hotspot.
But I'll record the panel. It'll be up on Patreon, free for everyone to watch. I'll probably make a video that will have the link in the description to go to that to watch, since YouTube hates panels because they're copyright claim nightmares. And otherwise, you can support us at tokuaannetwork on both Bluesky and Patreon. Facebook, Instagram, and Discord is at Kaiju no Kami, and the website creativitybydesignllc.com. And then you can buy cool Kaiju no Kami merchandise at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. And there's a link in the description below. And until next time, bye.
All right, let me